A very warm welcome to His Excellency, President of the Republic of Rwanda, and Mr. Jack Ma, the Executive Chairman of the Alibaba Group of Companies. You're most welcome, Your Excellency, Mr. Ma. Thank you. You may be seated. Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Mr. Jack Ma, Executive Chairman of the Alibaba Group of Companies, honorable ministers who are present here, executives of the Alibaba Group of Companies, business leaders from China and Rwanda, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and a warm welcome to the official launch of the first electronic world trade platform in Africa. My name is Louise Kanyonga, and I'm honored to be your co-master of ceremony this afternoon, together with Samuel Abikunda. A very warm welcome to you, Mr. Jack Ma in particular, and to the Chinese delegation that accompanied you here to Kigali for this very important event. Your Excellency, this platform that we have gathered here today to launch was born from Mr. Ma's vision to level the playing field for small, medium, and micro enterprises as they venture into global trade through the use of technology and innovation. This platform and its underlying vision are strongly aligned with Rwanda's aspirations to become a leading and modern logistics hub in the region, and also to achieve inclusive and transformative private sector growth. This initiative is extremely important as it places Rwandan SMEs and youth, who are the backbone of our private enterprise, at the very center of private sector development. And we have no doubt that this initiative will greatly enhance their capacity to produce and export quality, globally competitive products and services.
尊敬的总统阁下，尊敬的马云主席，尊敬的各位领导、各位来宾、女士们、先生们，大家下午好。今天我们欢聚于此，共同见证卢旺达政府与阿里巴巴集团的合作正式启动，非洲第一个 EWTP 的项目在卢旺达正式落地。今年7月，习主席访问卢旺达期间，两国签署了电商合作的备忘录。今天的签约正是对该战略协议的贯彻和落实。通过阿里电商平台，很多中国人享受到了美味的卢旺达咖啡，将来还可以购买到更多的卢旺达产品。通过人才培训计划，更多的年轻人会学习到电商方面的知识。通过旅游方面的合作，将会吸引更多的中国人前来体验美丽的卢旺达。通过电子方面的合作，将来支付和转账会变得方便快捷。未来，让我们用高科技构建智慧城市的蓝图，改变卢旺达，改变非洲。谢谢。
谢谢 Samuel. Thank you for what I'm sure is a very warm welcome to our guests from China. Your Excellency, Mr. Ma, at this time I will now invite the Honorable CEO of the Rwanda Development Board to deliver her welcome remarks. Please join me in welcoming her as she makes her way. Thank you.
I have no surprise in Mandarin. Your Excellency Paul Kagame, President of the Republic of Rwanda, Mr. Jack Ma, Executive Chairman, Alibaba Group, Honorable Ministers, business leaders, distinguished visitors, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. I am delighted to welcome you to this momentous occasion. We are here to witness the launch of the first ever electronic World Trade Platform, EWTP, on the African continent. A platform set to reduce trade barriers, enhance market access, and make it easier for Rwandan and eventually African companies to expand their trading capabilities worldwide. Mr. Jackma, to you and your delegation in particular, we're very pleased to welcome you back to Rwanda, only a year later. We also want to express our sincere appreciation for your personal commitment in getting us to this point in this partnership. Rwandan businesses can now see the world as a global village where a coffee producer can sell her coffee directly to a Chinese consumer in Guangzhou, Chengdu, or Shanghai. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to describe our unique partnership with Alibaba briefly. This initiative currently covers 4 areas: e-commerce, where we started with coffee trade; secondly, tourism; thirdly, training; and lastly, e-payments. Let me start with coffee. Our maiden shipment to China of coffee consisted of 1,800 packs of 500 grams each. Some of the brands we offered were sold out in day one. Some received very good customer feedback, attesting to the high quality of coffee that our hardworking farmers produce. This is consistent with other reviews we have recently seen from other markets, such as the Best of the Best and Coffee Lover's Choice awards that Rwandan coffee received in the US. So when our Chinese friends buy coffee, Rwandan coffee, from Alibaba platforms, they will be enjoying coffee that is renowned for its supreme quality. Equally, when Rwandan coffee producers embrace Alibaba's platforms, they can be assured that this is a market on an upward trajectory with a long-term future. China's coffee consumption is growing at 15% per annum, compared to a global growth of only 2%. This is clearly a win-win situation. Now, on tourism. In just about 2 weeks, Chinese travelers will begin to see Rwandan tourism offerings ranging from culture, nature, to adventure on Fliggy.com. This is the largest online travel marketplace in China and another one of Alibaba's platforms. We have planned several promotions of our unique tourist attractions to take place next year in China. You may know that China is now the world's most powerful outbound market for travel. According to the United Nations World Tourism Organization, Chinese tourists overseas spent nearly $300 billion in 2017, which is 30 times more than they did 17 years earlier. So China is the highest, a Chinese tourist is the highest spender in the world. In fact, compared to the second and the third, a Chinese traveler spends twice as much as an American traveler and 4 times as much as a German one, which really means that there's a big market there. However, this is not the good side of the story. Rwanda only received 5,000 tourists from China last year. However, ladies and gentlemen, this is about to change. Fliggy.com will be selling Rwandan products very soon. Lastly, we are also making progress in the other 2 areas of cooperation. So far, 5 Rwandan entrepreneurs and 38 academicians from 9 universities have been trained on e-commerce, 13 of whom have been certified. While we're also making progress on electronic payments, and that is also ongoing. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, Rwandan businesses are very optimistic about the new opportunities that lie ahead and are very keen to leverage the power of Alibaba's group's ecosystem to connect with Chinese consumers. We look forward to expanding our partnerships to other products and creating more awareness of Rwandan brands. We will do our best to ensure that this groundbreaking venture is a success for all of us. Your Excellency, President Paul Kagame, Mr. Jackma, let me conclude by speaking on behalf of all the stakeholders in this room when I take a moment to once again express our most profound gratitude to you for your leadership and vision that have made this partnership possible. I thank you very much.
Thank Thank you, Honorable CEO, for your remarks highlighting the tangible and successful initiatives that have been implemented through Rwanda's unique partnership, as you said, with the Alibaba Group. Excellency, distinguished guests, Mr. Ma, even as we launch the EWTP Africa today, and as we've heard from the CEO, there's already been several existing initiatives and a very strong partnership between Rwanda, China, and the Alibaba Group. And we will now share with you a very short video that showcases the highlights of this partnership. Thank you.
The government of Rwanda and Alibaba Group are implementing the Electronic World Trade Platform project to support the development of the digital economy in Rwanda and make it easier for Rwandan companies to participate in global trade. We are focused on enabling cross-border trade, promoting tourism to Rwanda, and providing capacity building to help empower the growth of Rwanda's digital economy. Considering that Alibaba operates the world's largest online marketplaces with more than 500 million consumers shopping and living their lives through its groundbreaking platforms, Rwandans will find it easier to pursue trading on a global level. The partnership will focus on 4 main areas: e-commerce, tourism, capacity building, and e-payments. Tmall, China's largest business-to-consumer marketplace, has become an integral part of the everyday life of Chinese online consumers. The platform allows brands and retailers without operations in China to build virtual storefronts and ship products into China. It is on this platform and other Alibaba e-commerce platforms that Rwandan products such as coffee, handcrafts, and more will be offered to Chinese consumers. On tourism, Fliggy, Alibaba Group's travel brand and China's leading online travel booking platform, will host the Rwanda Travel Flagship Store and Rwanda National Pavilion, opening up Rwanda's remarkable sites to China, one of the largest marketplaces in the world. On capacity building, RDB and Alibaba affiliate, the Alibaba Business School, are collaborating to promote education and training in e-commerce and related areas, equipping Rwandans with the skills for today's digital world. With payment platforms being central to the success of online global trading, Alipay, the world's largest mobile payment platform, will facilitate the acceptance of electronic payment for offline transactions by Chinese tourists and online e-commerce transactions. Rwanda and Alibaba, bringing together a nation of 12 million people and a nation of 1.5 billion people, enabling cross-border trade through the power of will, innovation, and technology.
Thank you. I think, as you can see from this video, and as we heard from the CEO of RDB, that Rwandan coffee was one of the highest selling items on the Alibaba platform, selling out almost in a day. I think it's safe for us to say that this is a partnership that works. Distinguished guests, to cement this partnership and to even further grow it, we will now witness the signing of 3 MOUs that will be very instrumental in guiding the successful implementation of the objectives of the EWTP project and the partnership between our 2 countries. At this time, I will now invite the signatories to the first MOU to please come up to the stage and take their place at the signing table. On behalf of the government of Rwanda, please welcome the Honorable CEO of the Rwanda Development Board. And on behalf of the Alibaba Group, please welcome Ms. Zhao Ying, President of the Alibaba Group of Companies. Please welcome them as they make their way. Thank you very much. The MOU that they will be signing is a holistic framework agreement that sets out the key terms of the 4 main components that we just saw in the video. The first is the tourism component, the e-commerce component, talent training, which will ensure that we're equipping our SMEs and youth with the key skills that are needed for the e-commerce industry, and finally, e-payment to provide solutions that will facilitate online transactions. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Thank you very much. The next MOU will be signed again by the Honorable CEO and Ms. Zhao Ying, and I'll ask you to please remain seated at the stage. They will be joined by the Chairman of the Rwanda Chamber of Tourism, Mr. Aimable Rutagarama. Mr. Chairman, kindly make your way to the table. Please welcome him as well as he makes his way. Thank you. This MOU, as we heard from the video, will be mapping out strategic initiatives to promote Rwanda's tourist attractions to the Chinese travel market, mainly through the popular Chinese travel platform Fliggy. As we heard, we will have the creation of a Rwandan store to promote and sell tourism packages, as well as a Rwandan pavilion to ensure key information and content on Rwanda as a tourism destination. Under this, Fliggy will also be providing advice on marketing and branding and communication for the Chinese market. Thank you very much. A warm round of applause. Thank you very much. The final MOU will be signed again by the CEO of the Rwanda Development Board. She will be joined by Mrs. Zhang Yu, President of the Alibaba Business School, and Dr. Emmanuel Muvunyi, the Executive Director of the Higher Education Council. Please welcome them as well as they make their way. Thank you. Under this MOU, the Alibaba Business School will partner with the government of Rwanda to provide the necessary tools and training that are required to equip our SMEs and youth with the competitive skills that will be required in the global e-commerce industry for today and the future. Thank you very much. A warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for this important MOU. Thank you. Thank you very much to all our signatories for this very important ceremony. You may now take your seats. Thank you. With this very important ceremony, we now have the difficult but very important task at hand. We need to make sure that the objectives that have just been signed in this MOU are fully realized, and very importantly, ensure that we're upskilling our SMEs and our youth to take full advantage of the vast global opportunities that the e-commerce industry has to offer. Another round of applause, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, for this very important signing ceremony that we just witnessed. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Mr. Ma, distinguished guests, we've now come to that part of the program that I'm sure we've all been waiting for, and it is my great pleasure to invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, and Mr. Jack Ma to officially launch the Electronic World Trade Platform Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome them as they make their way to the stage. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, The first electronic world trade platform is now officially launched. A warm round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency. I kindly invite you to take your seats and kindly request Mr. Ma to remain at the stage for his remarks. Thank you very much. Samuel.
下面我们热烈欢迎阿里巴巴集团执行主席致辞，欢迎马主席。
Your Excellency, Mr. President, ministers, friends, Clara and your team. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my great honor, and also it is Alibaba's great honor to be able to partner with Rwanda. And today it is a very, very important day. To me, internally, I think it's a historical day. And thank you so much for within such a short time, Clara, you and your team, to make this thing happen. We never thought it could be happening in that quick. You have gone through a lot of things because we are spending time, efforts for the future of Rwanda and future of Africa. And I hope from today, the EWTP Rwanda can be able to support small business, young people, women here in Africa, and sell their things to enable them to global buy, global sell, global deliver, global pay, and global travel. I've been waiting for this day for almost 10 years. 10 years ago when I started Alibaba, I believe internet is going to change the world. I believe e-commerce is going to empower millions of small business. And I wish someday if the e-commerce can help enable African small business, African farmers, if they can sell their products across the world, that is called success of the internet age. And I never thought it would happen in Rwanda. I never thought within 12 months I came to Rwanda for 2 times. And people ask me, why Rwanda? There are so many countries in Africa, and it is so difficult. We have a lot of criteria to pick up a country to be the EWTP hub, an EWTP country. Why Rwanda? And my answer is, why not Rwanda? Rwanda is a great country. A country, when I first came here, I was shocked and surprised by its safety, by its clean, and by the power, the magical power that to embrace the change. Last year was my first trip to Africa. Before I came, I heard Africa about poverty, disease, and all the things. When I came here, I changed my mind, especially when I arrived in Rwanda. It is so different from what I think. And I told my team, my people at that day, if Africa, every country like Rwanda, how powerful Africa will be. And last year I knew that I did not know Africa. The best thing to know about Africa is come here more and visit more and get involved more. So I decided I will come to Africa every year from now on, every year for at least 3 to 4 countries. And I hope in the next 10 years or 15 years, I can finish visiting almost all the African countries. And Rwanda is so different. A lot of people talk. Rwanda is making things happening. Rwanda is one of the very few countries that banned the plastic bags. People in many countries, I doubt they talk, but Rwanda make this thing happening. And I visited the genocide, the memorial that last time. And your country has suffered so much, suffered from this tragedy. But in such a short time, Rwanda recovered and stand up. And I think the other thing I want to say is you've got a great, charming leader, the president. I'm not saying in front of him, I'm speaking to many of my friends. I feel so proud of myself being able to know him. First time I saw him was in the United Nations. At that time, we did not talk to each other. I saw him there, sitting there, surrounded by many presidents. And people said, that's the president of Rwanda. And I wish that someday I could be able to meet him and talk to him. And this is my fourth time meeting him and talk. Every time I was amazed by his courage, leadership, and care for his people and care for his country. Most of the people in this world, we believe seeing is believing. Very few people, we believe, then we see. Your president is the person believing the future. And most countries, they talk about supporting small business, supporting young people, supporting farmers, but very few of them really take the actions. When I talked to him in Davos, he said, Jack, let's do it. And we make the arrangement, and both teams move so fast. And now, not only in Davos, but also New York, every time I talk to the president, we talk about technology, we talk about environment, we talk about jobs, we talk about technology. And every time, I'm very impressed. And not only talk, he makes things happening. This EWTP, with such a short time in Africa, it's amazing. So people also say, well, Rwanda, how can be an EWTP hub? You don't have a sophisticated internet, logistic, market, payment, and all the things are not ready. I said, this is why we came here. 19 years ago, when we started Alibaba in China, nobody believed internet will work. Nobody believed e-commerce will work. People say China have no internet, no e-commerce, no trust, no credit, no banking, no logistics, nothing. But we say, yes, because there's that's why we need entrepreneurs. We make things happen. There's no logistic, let's build up logistic. There's no payment, let's build up payment. And when other people complain, we take this as a great opportunity. And today's Africa is much better than 19 years ago China. At least at that time, there's no people have a mobile phone. Today, so many people have mobile phones. And a mobile phone is much more powerful than a computer 19 years ago. So we tested. We're very excited to see that we're selling the Rwanda coffees. With such a short time, we sold more than 1,000 packages of Rwanda. Of course, you got the greatest coffee in the world. But the other thing is the demand for coffee in China is increasing. And the thing is that what impressed us is not only the products you have, it's the team you have, the government efficiency. Today, when I arrived in Rwanda from the airport, my team keep on telling me they are moved and touched by the government, their efficiency, they're transparent. They want to make things happening. And we've been talking for half an hour. We said we should make all the Chinese government officers come here to learn. And all the other government to come here to learn. And because of that, we are making things reality. And I want to say, President last time told me that a coffee that's selling from here, a farmer selling coffee from Rwanda to the USA, normally farmer pick up $8, USA can sell $16. But through the EWTP platform we tested, a farmer can collect $12. Consumers happy, farmers are happy. And this, I think, the $4 difference is the value that EWTP bring to Africa. And the third thing, we want to working together. We want to prove if Rwanda can, why not the other countries in Africa? And I think this is what we believe, that in the past year, Rwanda convinced China, the Alibaba people, you changed our vision. You changed our view of Africa and Rwanda. And together, from today, we will make the world change the view of Rwanda and Africa. And I think I always believe small is beautiful and small is powerful. If Rwanda can be successful, 80% of the countries in the world can be successful because most of them, they don't have logistics, they don't have payment, they don't have the technology, they don't have the talents. Because we don't have them, let's start to build up these things. This is what we think. And the trade is changing. Ladies and gentlemen, because of the technology, the trade formality is changing so fast. In the past 300 years, I would say 300 years ago, the global trade is controlled by a few kings and queens. And in the past 30 years, global trade was controlled by 60,000 big companies. What if we can make 16 million or 60 million small business in the world? They can change. They can do the business. In the past, IT is to make 20% companies succeed. In the future, we want to use the internet technology, the EWTP, to make 80% of the business to be successful. In the past, the trade is done through containers. In the future, the trade is conducted by packages. In the past, business is B2C. In the future, business is C2B. In the past, we say it's made in China, made in America. In the future, it's made in internet. So any young people, any small business can using a mobile phone to global buy, global sell, global deliver, and global pay. And I think we have to prepare for the future. Nobody is happy. A lot of people are not happy about the trade today. But complaining does not solve anything. Let's build up a system that can support 80% of the countries, especially developing countries and poor countries. Let's support the young people. Let's support the small business. They can benefit from globalization. This is what we think. So finally, we think today we are not helping. EWTP is not, and Alibaba is not helping Rwanda to globalize. It's Rwanda to helping the globalize, to improve the globalization. Rwanda's courage and vision on joining together with Alibaba on EWTP. We are making new rules for the future. We are improving the world trade. So in order to face the future, we need to build up the new facility, the new infrastructure for the global trade. EWTP, Electronic World T Platform. What does T mean? T means trade. T means training. T means technology. T means tourism. So we think through these four, the trade, training, technology, and tourism, we can enable all the small business. Today, we just finished the agreement. And I think agreement is not easy to sign, but can be signed within 12 months. But we have to make things reality. Whether this agreement is good or not, it depends on whether we get good result. If we can make and empower the small business, farmers, young people in Africa, in Rwanda succeed, then this EWTP concept, initiative really makes sense. So thank you very much again. I think today's agreement, 10 years later, we will all be proud of this. And finally, I want to say this thing, the Africa has a huge potential. The more I come here, the more I feel proud and the more I have confidence in it. Let's spend time on the education. Let's spend the time and encouraging the entrepreneurs. Let's spend the time, make the government E. So education, entrepreneurs, and e-government, we will make Africa different. And I'm sure Africa is the future of the world. And it is the future and the sample of inclusive trade and inclusive world. Thank you very much, your President.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ma, for your inspiring and inspired remarks, showing what can happen when we start to view challenges as opportunities. We are, as the CEO said, deeply appreciative of your vision and commitment to partner with our president and our government to launch the first EWTP Africa hub here in Rwanda. And as you rightly say, the EWTP brings tangible value to Rwandan entrepreneurs and farmers in a rapidly changing global trade space. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is now my singular honor to invite His Excellency, President of the Republic of Rwanda, to deliver his remarks. Please join me in giving him a very warm welcome as he makes his way. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Jack Ma, Executive Chairman of Alibaba Group, senior executives of Alibaba Group, business leaders and senior officials, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, entrepreneurs who are here in the room. I want to say good afternoon, and once again, let me welcome Jack Ma, my friend, and the leadership of Alibaba Group back to Rwanda for this exciting event. I want to thank you, Jack, for following through and delivering on the good ideas discussed at last year's Youth Connect Summit. In fact, let me add, Jack mentioned how we met and time we met. What was important for me and impressive was that when I met him first time and we talked, and it was about Rwanda, it was about Africa, it was about e-commerce and many other things. But when I requested him to come to Rwanda and together we find what we can do that would not only improve the lives of Rwandans, but by extension, Africans. I didn't see any doubt on Jack's face. There are men I have talked to. Sometimes I find a lot of doubt I could read. They don't say it. But I can read it on their faces that, what is this one talking about? Rwanda? Africa? They think it should all be about being helped, being begging, or as Jack said, many things about disease, insecurity, poverty, but Jack is a believer and he decides what to believe, and in most cases he believes correctly. So I'm glad, Jack, me and Rwanda did not disappoint you. You are welcome. The electronic world trade platform opens up new frontiers in e-commerce and tourism for Rwanda, and will also boost the capacity and competitiveness of our entrepreneurs and business people. Rwandan producers will be able to sell directly a much larger set of customers to to a much larger set of customers than before, while bypassing costly intermediaries. This improves productivity and profitability as well. Put differently, there are really no downsides to doing business on a global scale. I want to challenge Rwandan companies and young people, men and women, to take full advantage of this technology and not lose sight of fundamentals. It is up to each firm to produce high quality goods that customers want to buy, and to ensure consistent supply. Rwanda continues to make major investments in education and broadband infrastructure in order to accelerate growth in the technology-linked industries that drive prosperity in upper-income economies. Government will continue to do its part to promote innovation by guaranteeing a conducive business and regulatory climate. In the latest World Bank Doing Business report, which was released only today, Rwanda is now ranked as the 29th most business-friendly country in the world. Up from 41st last year. From 41, we came down all the way to 29 in just 1 year. So things are happening, and we should work even harder and smarter and move faster. In fact, Rwanda is the only low-income country in the top 100. Though we do not intend to remain in that low-income group for any longer than necessary. And this is the way to get out of that group. I think Jack is helping us to be on the right path. This is something we have focused on for more than 15 years, precisely to facilitate collaboration with global companies like Alibaba. What is happening here in Rwanda is part of the wider transformation underway on our continent. Regional integration in Africa has taken a major step forward through the adoption of the Continental Free Trade Area and Protocol on the free movement of persons. So the market is growing with that as well. We are responding to the urgency to create high-quality jobs for the ambitious and talented young people of our continent, of my country. That starts with the mindset of focusing on the opportunities right here in Africa and working together to develop them for the future. Let me reiterate that Rwanda greatly values our growing relationship with the Chinese private sector and Alibaba Group in particular, as well as countries working together very closely, where everyone is a winner. The product being launched today is a tangible example of that, and one that we intend to build on for mutual benefit. Once again, I thank you all, and Jack Ma, I thank you and your whole team for taking your time and being here with us, and it gives us an opportunity to build fast for the better future of our country. Thank you very much.